You guys know, early on today, when I got home and I saw it on my Facebook feed, for some reason I read I guess, the description to the post. I thought it said it was like fan art, but couldn't figure out it wasn't. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Sparky CJ back again with some more Pokemon Sun and Moon news. So much info has been leaked from new forms, new Pokemons, new details about the gameplay. So much stuff. We about to get into it. And what you see on your screen is the first of the very few that they have already revealed of being forms of previous Pokemons. Now we can't confirm if it's going to be just Generation 1, but the ones they have already revealed does belong in Generation 1. First seeing the Alolan Executor, Grass and Dragon. When I looked at it, I was like, the neck, I was like, he's a tree, he's a palm tree, but he has a long behind neck, and his tail is another head. Well, he has another head on his tail. The ability Frisk, not really, Frisk is only really good if if you want, I want to know what type of hell item, but other than that, they're not really good of an ability. So, yeah, just quick rundown on the description. The environment of the lower region, where strong sunlight poured down all year round, brought about this change in Executor's form. The people of Alola boast that the Alolan Executor is the true form of Executor. That's debatable. Unlike other Executor, the Alolan Executor has a fourth head on its tail. The fourth head controls its tail independently and can attack opponents on the rear that the heads at the top cannot reach. And then, this Pokemon excels at whipping its long neck like a lash to attack with its hard heads. But that neck can sometimes become a weakness. Because it's like, if I hit you, how are you going to guard it type of thing. But before we get into the rest of the other Alolan version of previous Pokemon, the thing that jumps to my mind is if most of these forms are going to be in Generation 1, first question I ask is, first question is most of these forms going to be for Generation 1? Number 2 is, I don't know if I was watching someone's video, but they said, I think it was like someone's video that they made, and they read that like the Pokemon website was like saying that certain Pokemon would not receive a Mega Evolution because they look like their design. You can't alter their design. But then you make these Pokemon, you kind of like, well, you can just call them Megas, but they didn't. So the question is, Pokemons that quote unquote designs look complete, quote unquote complete, and can't receive Mega Evolutions, will those Pokemons in their evolution line receive Alolan forms? How many are we going to get? You never know. So let's continue. Next. Sorry, it's landed. Let's go back. Well, I gotta go back that way. Let's go ahead and start. Next is Alolan Ninetales. Look at the majestic fur on it. Ice Fairy. The ability Snow Cloak. You have the description. Alolan Ninetales live on a snowy peak, is revered in the lower region as a holy mountain. They're treated as sacred emissaries, and people meet them with the awe and fear. This Pokemon personality is extremely gentle, and at times it's help humans who seem to be in distress. However, it shows no mercy at all to anyone or anything that dares to damage its territory. Ice Fairy, first pairing of types. It's only weak to it's times 2 weak to steel, if I'm correct. Yeah, no, times 4. Times 4 weak to steel. I don't know if ice resists poison. I feel like it does. But if it doesn't, times 2 to poison. It was neutral fire. Neutral fighting. And I think that's it. Because fairies weak to poison and steel. and ice is weak to fighting fire and steel. And so it's quad weak to steel. You then neutral to fire, and then with the fighting, neutral to fighting. So it either has two weaknesses or just one. I could be completely wrong with that. You guys kind of it's a chart you can look at, but Alolan Ninetales, it looks really cool. You know what I'm saying? You know, being where its original form, just regular Ninetales is fire. This one's ice and fairy. It still has 9 tails. It just looks a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, and rest of them on the side. It just looks so majestic, man. It looks pretty cool. Next up is the Alolan Vulpix ability, Snowcloak, Ice. Oh, a good thing is how will this Pokemon evolve? You can't evolve with a Fire Stone because it's no longer a fire type. Is it gonna magically create a new stone called the Ice Stone? Or does this Pokemon now just evolve at a certain level while leveling up in that certain area? Because all the videos I watched, no one mentioned it. So, hey, that's something that because you can't evolve with a Fire Stone because it's not a fire type no more. You know what I'm saying? It says that Vulpix came to the lower region together with humans, but the fox Pokemon moved to the snowy mountain peaks to avoid the normal habitats of other Pokemon, and thus it ended up taking on its form. This Alolan Vulpix live on high mountains that remain in cover in snow year-round. They live in small pack of 2 or 5 individuals, helping one another survive. Another thing is the Alolan Executor. Execute evolves with a Leaf Stone. Now, the thing is, the video that I was watching is, could you like catch it? Can you catch it execute and then evolve it with a Leaf Stone? But because you're in the lower region, execute evolves into the form, or can you or whether evolve is a regular execute and then you have to do something to change its form? That's kind of one of the questions that people kind of throw out there. How would you be able to achieve this form, same as the Vulpix? Because you can't use a Fire Stone. You cannot whatsoever. Okay, next up is the Alolan Sandslash with the ability. Oh, not ability, my bad. With the ability Snowcloak and the type Ice Steel. Design-wise, those spikes, man, you gotta be very careful. I'm thinking to poke an eye out. Them claws and toes are just sharp. Again, really, really cool design. If you look at it being if it was a Mega, then it will. But then if you look at it being a Mega Sandslash, the quills on its back is a lot sharper though. Change the color back to brown and yellow, and you got yourself a Mega Sandslash. But instead, you got the Alolan Sandslash. There's another thing out there. There's another question that people have asked, but I'm gonna bring it up after I get done with the rest of the Alolan versions, Alolan forms. The Alolan Sandshrew of the Snowy Mountains evolved into Alolan Sandslash with a spiny back that are covered in ice. Thanks to their icy coating, these spines are large and sharp. Alolan Sandslash hide themselves in the snow when evil enemies appear, leaving only their needles exposed and ready for business. Okay, next up is the Alolan Sandshrew. Ice Steel, the ability Snowcloak. Sandshrew has historically lived in desert areas, but the frequent eruptions of nearby volcanoes drove the Sandshrew to abandon their desert and migrate to snowy mountains, where they took on this form. Sandshrew body changed to adapt to harsh environments of the snowy mountains. The Alolan Sandshrew has a shell of ice covering its skin, which is like hard steel. And that's why it's ice and steel. It excels defensively, but it lacks flexibility and cannot curve its body into a ball like a ground-type Sandshrew can. Now, the question I was about to pose about this was, dang it, because I was looking at Sandslash. Oh man, I forgot what I was about to say. Because I mentioned about the stone, about leveling them up, stats wise too. Is it going to have same stats, different stats? This one is because it's ice and steel, and description wise, is it going to have basically better stats than its counterparts, or some stats will be better than others, meaning that this might be like, it might have a better attack and defense stat, but its speed will be lower because it's still it's like it can't move as much as the regular ground sandshrew. That's one thing that was brought up about stat wise. It's very interesting. Now we have to look at the new Pokemons. First up is Oricorio, which is it has 4 different forms. One is Ghost Flying. Next is the the style name is the Sensu style, Ghost Flying. The ability Dancer. The Pau style, Psychic Flying. The Pom Pom style, Electric Flying. And the Bele style, Fire Flying. Oricorio changes its form by sipping the nectar of certain flowers. Since it has different forms, the same as the number of islands in Alola, it was seen that different Oricorio live on each of the islands. The Bele style Oricorio is very passionate and power fills his body when it dances. It sends downy, fluffy flying during its intense dancing. By igniting the Fliss Flop, it can unleash a fiery dance. The ability Dancer. If any Pokemon in the field use a dancing move like Oricorio, then Oricorio will be able to use the same move immediately afterwards thanks to its Dancer ability. Now, dancing moves being Quiver Dance. So then Quiver Dance, Sword Dance, Teeter Dance, Lunar Dance, Fiery Dance, the attack. All those moves that have dance in its name. The question is being setup move. I got this Pokemon out and my opponent wants to use a Swords Dance. My ability, that's not going to work on me. I get Swords Dance too. But does that take my turn? Because it's the ability. I know you're using it because you copy it. Like, oh, thank you. I'm going to copy it. Does that make it where, for example, I can't, use another move? That'd be kind of sucky in a way. Because your opponent can take advantage of knowing that, hey, I can just keep using Swords Dance and max out, even though you're going to max out too, but you can't use no other move. But then at the same time, what if you're faster than me? This bird, you look at it is, I don't see it evolving. It's different forms. If it evolves, becoming very fast, let's say a very fast physical attacker, not as good as Talonflame, but that'd be interesting because then his ability will be like, because the ability, it's an interesting ability. And when you have it on, when you have these certain abilities where they're good competitively, but the Pokemon itself is like, you can't really picture them being OU. Maybe RU, NU, maybe UU, BL2, BL3, you know what I'm saying? But if I had to choose between the 4 birds, which one I would put on my team, I would go with the Bele side. I like fire. I'm going to get Peaky Peck. You know what I'm saying? So 2 flying types on my team. Not a good choice. But as of right now, I got Litten. I got Rockruff. I got Peaky Peck. And I'm going to go with Oricorio. Not my team, but just 4 Pokemon I just like off the bat. We have the pre-evo of Cloud named Mudsdale. Mudbray. The ground type Pokemon. Abilities same as Mudsdale, own Tempo and Stamina. Musbury could once be found all over the world, but it was overhunted and ended up on the verge of extinction. It said that the Alola region is the only place in the world where Musbury can be still found in the wild. Musbury boasts superhuman strength, a surprise considering its small body. Musbury can carry loads up to 50 times its own weight on its back or dragging behind it. Now look at this Pokemon. It's really cute. Its pupils look like it's like something from Naruto, the Sage, the way the eyes look. But the ability stamina makes it where every time you get hit, my defense goes up. Well, its defense goes up. You give it an Eviolite, its defense is both special and physical is already doubled. So with that, Eviolite and then the ability stamina, And then if it gets any particular setup moves, this thing could be a very, very powerful, very defensive, a really, really defensive Pokemon to be like in NU. Like I see maybe BL2. Like it's too good for RU, but not good enough for UU. But you know, stats. You know, we always say stats because you can't fully dictate where Pokemon might be at until you look at them stats. Next up, we have Minimore. Minior. Rock flying with the ability Shields Down. Minior are found in the stratosphere and live by absorbing the detritus around them. When they're consuming a large quantity of particles, their bodies become heavy and they fall towards the planet's surface. Minior has a hard and heavy outer shell with a core inside of it. The Meteor Pokemon seems to be made in such a way that if the shell breaks, it becomes lighter and can deal out quick attacks. The ability Shield Down makes it where it will have excellent defense capabilities as long as the shield is intact. It will also be protected from status conditions, but when its HP drops below half, its shield breaks and it will change to a form better suited to attacking. So, its shield protects it. You can't poison me, you can't do nothing. It has higher defense. It has good defense because of it. Now, once the shield breaks, does my defense drop, speed increase because I don't have all that weight on me? You never know. There is, is it down here, I think? Yeah, it's right here. The thing has different, variation colors, the red, blue, orange, and yellow, and, yellowish, I think. Yeah. But I like it, you know, its eyes look very, excuse me, how I'm supposed to say, very mystic, you know what I'm saying? The ability to shoot down. I wanted, because I don't know, for some reason I was about to say, how many hits can it take, but once the health drops by below half, then, bam, you have revealed, but now you have fallen. Now I'm gonna hit you with a Stone Edge or something. It did show like a new move, I believe so, in the trailer, but, you know, there was no, it didn't say what the move was. Okay, next up is the evolved form of Yungoos, Gunshoos. The normal Pokemon's same two abilities, Stake Out and Strong Jaw. When I first saw this, I know a lot of people already said this. It looks like Donald Trump. There's another thing I forgot to say about the Alolan Executor is on Twitter. A lot of people was making fun of it. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty funny. Oh man, I mean, if you want to look them up, what I did is I just typed in Executor, and then, you know, there's a post that has, like, you know, people are making fun of it, like, go to the news. That was pretty funny because, like, there's like a bunch of them. My favorite one was, it was like a character holding Executor like a staff. I'm like, bruh, come on, man, you can't do that. Gunshoos. Method of targeting prey is the exact opposite of Yungoos' strategy. While Yungoos prowls around, Gunshoos stake out his prey usual routes and wait patiently for it to come by. Good lord, he's stalking people, but he's ready, bro. He's like, hey man, I already know that you go here, then there. And so when you get to that second stop, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you in this game. It's GG, man, GG. Gunshoos has a tenacious personality, which is why it targets one prey for so long without wavering. But when the sun goes down, it runs low on stamina, falling asleep right on the spot. Gunshoos can withstand a great deal of hunger. It's able to stay perfectly still while waiting for its prey, keeping watch without eating a thing. This thing will, bruh, he's dedicated. This thing is dedicated. But actually, let's look at the. Dang, I hit it twice. The first stage of the other Pokemon we just saw, not Lunala, is Formantis. It's grass with the ability Leaf guard. For mantis is nocturnal and it performs photosynthesis while it sleeps during the day by spreading out its leaves in all directions. Because of the danger of staying in the same direction 2 days in a row, for mantis begins its search for the next day spot as soon as the sun sets. We look at this little thing. Look at it, man. It's so small. Look, it's like a baby lilligant because of his head, but everything else is like, you know, look at his like. He's supposed to be like claws or something. The name is Mantis. And it was Mantis in his name, so it's the little very small claws and stuff. Look at it, man. It has no mouth. How does it eat? You never know. But it evolves into Lorantis, the grass type leaf guard, the bloom sickle Pokemon. Sickle, you know, it's like like sickles are what, like it's like a scythe. Well, that's the little curved blade thing. That's how the mantis hands be. Lorantis draws opponents near to itself with its flower-like appearance and aroma, and then it takes them down. It's said to be the most gorgeous of all grass-type Pokemon due to its brilliant coloration and elegant moves. Lorantis' appearance is maintained through detailed grooming. It will trust a trainer who does a good job of caring for it, but it will apparently have a difficult time growing close to a lazy trainer. Lorantis is not messing with you if you can't take care of it. Where am I at? I'm 21 minutes with the water Pokemon. Design-wise, it looked like he's wearing, what's some type of pants? I think it's like circus pants, I think. I can't think of it, but it looks like he's wearing those type of pants. But again, I like the design, you know what I'm saying? Something different, something fresh in these Pokemons. Oh yeah. With the Alolan forms. Pokemons, you guys already know, you know, I would love to see, man, Alolan Arcanine, Growlithe, Nidoking. What about the stars? I mean, what about, you know, I don't know, because they got Mega Evolution. They might not even do that, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, they might be like, you know what, you know, Mega Evolution is not a thing. But even though we're not going to have them, you know, with their Alolan forms. I'm trying to think of the other Pokemon's like from Generation 1. I mean, it's more like Jolteon, but then that's the Eevee thing. I don't know if they want to affect Eevee where, like, you know, you take a regular Eevee, but then it will be a different typing. And so you can't evolve into a Jolteon unless... That's the thing, though, like I'm thinking, like, you might evolve your Vulpix with a Firestone, but then you might do something that changes its form. You know what I'm saying? But, another thing was, Shady Penguin in his, one of his videos, he had said that, you know, what if it's, well, I'm gonna talk about it later because it will correlate to the next thing, but I think I'm gonna make a separate video because I don't want this video to go on for too long. Actually, I'll probably just go ahead and do it all together because, you know, even though it'll be more than about 30 minutes, but if I go ahead and cover it real quick. Just let me find it real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, next thing is the new thing that is called Z moves, which, you know, a breakdown is, you know, your main character is gonna have a Z ring, and you have to collect these crystals, or Z crystals, that is corresponding to all the different typings. As of right now, there's only the electric one, fire, water, and grass. That's why the trainers are doing the weird dances. Well, I don't know why they're doing the dances though. Actually, that might make sense because that's a symbol for the lightning, and so he's mimicking that. I have to look at the rest of them for the other typing and see how they mimic. You know, to see if exactly what they're doing. But when the little boy, the dude, the main character doing the little zip thing, he does corresponding to the lightning bolt. But yeah, your character have a Z ring. You have to collect these Z crystals, which is all the different typings. Once you have that Z crystal, the only way you can use the Z move, or your Pokemon to use the Z move, is if they have an attack of that typing. So for you to use the electric Z move, your Pokemon have to have an electric move. Well, that's what I'm guessing. You know, so you got Pokemon. As long as you have like Thunder Punch, Thunderbolt, Thunder Wave, anything like that, you can. That Pokemon can use that electric Z crystal. And then on top of that, you only can use your Z move once per battle. My favorite one when I looked at the trailer, the fire one looks crazy because it's like you can see the Pokemon charging at you and it gets closer and closer and then bam. And it's like, it's crazy, man, when you look at it. But if I had to say which one is my favorite, honestly, I mean, the water one is really crazy with that tornado. But for me, I'm gonna go with the fire one. Just that it's like this a huge, like the sun coming crashing down. And you're like, oh my goodness, and then bam. You know what I'm saying? Another thing about the Z moves is if I use an electric one and I switch in, if my opponent switch in a ground type, does that stop it? You know what I'm saying? How strong is these moves? 200 base power. Can they miss possibly? Because of, so what's the accuracy like that? It's not gonna move them, I can't miss at all. You know what I'm saying? If I use a bunch of double teams, can I still miss? What about substitute? Does it break through the substitute? These things we need to know about these Z moves because they look so cool. You know what I'm saying? All four of them. And it says for all types of summon, if it's going to be all types, a fairy one, steel one, ice one. I'm about to say water again because we have all of them, man. But this art right here looks pretty crazy. Got Pikachu shooting. It was called Gigavolt Surge. I think, yeah, Gigavolt Surge. No, Gigavolt Havoc. The grass one was called Boom Doom. The water one was called, I think it was like, it had Typhoon in the name or something like that. And then the fire one was called Inferno. I forgot. I think like Inferno Blazes like that. So it was like it's just the animation of it was freaking crazy, man. Next up, cool features. Scroll down. Oh yeah, you can ride on more Pokemons. Being that we show that we could ride on the Tauros, the Lapras, and the Sharpedo. But it also showed that we can call upon a Charizard or ride on, and there was also you can ride on a Mudsdale as well. Now another question is, does these things get rid of TMs? So you can just jump on the Sharpedo, jump on the Lapras. I could surf. That's it. You can use a Mudsdale, use a Tauros, and they kind of smash the rocks. I want to fly, call upon Charizard, and I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? So I wonder if it. I wonder if it's not like I can always call on them. Like you have to wait a while, or if I call on them and they take me to a certain, for example, Charizard means that if I call upon it, it's not going to automatically take me to where I need to be at. But it'll take me to I guess close to it. I guess I don't know. But I wonder, some more details on that. And then two more things. Oh man, where is it? That's where it's supposed to be. And I think I've tried it. Okay, here you go. Alright. I had to click on the lower region. The right of the Island Challenge. The Island Challenge. One aspect of the unique culture that has developed in the Alola region is the Island Challenge, an adventurous rite that involves traveling through each of the 4 islands. This event helps young people grow into fine Pokemon trainers. As the main character of the Pokemon Sun and Moon, yourself are destined to attempt the Island Challenge. They have it where there's 4 different island guardians. I don't know. I know they're not called guardians. To complete the Island Challenge, young travel goers must overcome a trial to store on each of the 4 islands. These trials are not limited to battling with Pokemon. They take a variety of forms. Such as finding items or completing tests of knowledge. You will not be able to accomplish them with ordinary methods. And there's 4 of them. We'll go over them after this. And then next up is the Totem Pokemon, which at the end of each trial you take on this strong Pokemon called Totem Pokemon. They show in the trailer that this Gumshoes. The Gumshoes call upon a Yungoos to help them out. And apparently The young goose can also call upon other young gooses, but it didn't show that. You know what I'm saying? It did not also show that the gumshoes also look like glowing, and then his defense rose. So it's like, I wonder if each one's gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna increase my attack. This one might increase the defense, increase my special attack. You know what I'm saying? And it's like 1v, 1v2. It could be 1v1, 1v3, 1v4. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those things where like it just keeps bringing enemies and like, come on, man, you can't do me like this. All sophisticated combos and SOS battles. When total Pokemon's battle, they summon allies, allied Pokemon to join them. With the support of these allies, the totem Pokemon become even more powerful, and it seems that the Pokemon other than total Pokemon sometimes call on allies to aid them. So they can get real crazy. The Grand Trials. The final trial on each island is called the Grand Trial. It is a Pokemon battle against the Kohanu, who leads the island. If a trial goer succeeds in clearing this grand trial, he or she will be publicly recognized as having cleared all of the island's trials and can move on to the next island. The only one they have revealed is Halu as the the Kohanu of the Melamina Island. He only has 3 Pokemons. I'm assuming in that battle he's going to use what is he going to use? The legendary Pokemon. I forgot his name. Not Kokoro. It just had that Coco sound. No. Tampacoco. There it is. Tampacoco. I wonder if he's going to use that in the actual battle against you, or it's going to be like another whole battle. Oh, that's only screenshots. I gotta actually get to that. Had shows the 4 people that you had to fight on each islands. Okay, their names are trial captains. Each trial has a captain whose role is to provide guidance to travel goers. All of the captains are trainers who undertook trials in their own island challenge a few years earlier. So first up, you have Lana. She's the water type trial captain. Then you have Malo. She is the grass type trial captain. Then you have Captain Sopocalis. His name is I watched videos of people pronounce it, but I can't even pronounce it now, man. But he used to specialize in electric type Pokemon. And then you have Kiawe. It's a captain whose expertise is in fire type Pokemon. Now, again, another question was thrown out there is, does each of these captains course means that each island is a certain typing? That's it. Means where Lana is all water type Pokemon, but it's not really the case because that kind of that debunks everything from having Ghost Fairy, all that good stuff. But the way I look at it is, okay, can we still battle these guys? But, first, before you battle me, you have to do certain tasks. I need you, because the first girl they showed in the trailer with Lana, she told you to go get some ingredients. So this might be one of the things where, like, okay, I need you to get 3 things. Once you find them, come back and I'll give you another task. You know what I'm saying? Because there's only 4 of them. You only could beat 4 of them. And so, and then you have the trial, and I'm assuming after you get done doing the task, or you fight them, you take on the totem Pokemon. And once you beat the totem Pokemon, then you take on the Konoha, the start with a K. Oh my goodness, man. You take on them on each island. So much information. So much things, man. New Pokemons, new forms. No more gym leaders. No more gym leaders. Just gotta take on 4 captains. But details on determining if we can still fight them. Oh yeah, this description with Kiawe says that he has a Marowak. And then people saying that, well, you know, if you specialize in fire type Pokemon, you can't have a Marowak in the ground or walking ground. So it might be an Alolan Marowak is gonna be fire type. You never know. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Deuces.